Hi, welcome to Young But Somewhat Overqualified Podcast. I am your host, Josie. In the last episode, we ended up talking about confidence while dating. And so today we're going to be carrying that discussion over to a different direction. So today's episode, the topics are dieting, exercising, and insecurities. So I have a guest here today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Brenda.
You come closer to the mic.
I'm Brenda, and I power lift.
You power lift.
Olympic lift.
So you do a lot of exercising, a lot
Yeah.
more than me.
I mean,
I don't really exercise, so I guess that's me just calling myself out. So what diet are you currently doing?
so it's kind of like whatever fits your macros. So I count my macros, but I also count my calories. But
Wait, what's the difference between your macros and
and
your
calories. So some people only count calories, and that's just they don't really count what makes up the calories, and they're just reading, the calories on the label. Macros is a breakdown of those calories that include the protein, fats, and the carbs.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So like for performance, because that's what I'm doing, I have to not only watch calories but eat enough protein, carbs, and fats in order to do what I want, in order to perform, basically.
Makes sense. I guess so. You're not on like a crazy diet where you're restricting yourself so much. My diet's it's weird, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So Monday through Thursday, I'm a pescatarian. Monday through Friday, I do intermittent fasting, and then I'm trying to increase my amount of veggies and lower my carb intakes because I'm trying to lose weight. Do you think that works? Why do you think it worked for me for some reason?
I think it worked because it cut out part of the food group, and pescatarian food is usually leaner in fats, so it's already cutting out like a lot of one part of macros, and then you're already increasing veggies, which is high volume and low in calories. So you're filling up yourself, but with low, low calories, I guess. I don't know how else to explain it.
That makes sense. Sorry, we're at a cafe recording this, so excuse the background noise, but it's kind of a dope ambiance to record a podcast. And okay, let's pause. So, which diets didn't work out for you, or diets that you've attempted?
Let me think, because that was a long time ago. I
Yeah.
think diets that are too low calorie, because you just gain it back.
Yeah,
Like, if you lose a lot of weight really fast, you can't really sustain it.
That's
It's
true.
not sustainable. I think I tried vegan.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So I
Okay.
tried going vegan just to hopefully lose weight, and because this other girl that I liked was vegan,
yeah.
so I was like, oh, I might as well just try it, and then maybe I'll lose weight. But it comes down to calories in and calories out, so it doesn't matter what the diet consists of. If you're overeating, it doesn't matter. So that didn't work.
Okay. Yeah, because my sister is vegan, vegetarian, more so vegetarian. She eats vegan when she goes out, but she eats so much carbs.
Yeah.
So she's overeating in a group, I guess. So do you think these diets keto, what is it, paleo, are these just fads?
I feel like it's fads. It works for some people if those people can sustain it. But keto, it's cutting essentially all carbs. And if that person doesn't stick with keto for the rest of their life and they eat one piece of bread and it shocks their body and then carbs absorb water, they're just going to blow up again. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess because I'm intermittent fasting, and that's a diet fad, especially right now, and there's
Yeah.
5 ways to intermittent fast, and
Yeah.
I chose the easiest way. But I think you're right, dieting needs to be a very consistent thing, and you can't just randomly binge.
Yeah.
Wild. I never really thought about that. Well, yeah, I've thought about it, but I'm worried now that I'm trying to lose weight because I have so much temptations around
Yeah.
me. But I'm trying to eat very clean, but Taco Bell.
I mean, some people lose weight eating Taco Bell.
Yeah, dude. I just don't get meat. I get vegetarian Taco Bell.
But that's another thing too. Because you're pescatarian, that's why you're getting vegetarian meat in it.
Yeah.
But some people just get like the regular foods and they just make it fit in their macros and drink a lot of water because of the salt.
Yeah.
And they'll like lose weight.
No, like I realized like ever since I started dieting, my appetite just shot down because like I used to order 2 quesadillas and 2 tacos, and I used to eat that shit by myself. And like I eat one quesadilla, and I feel like dying. Like I can't finish it, and I always order freaking nacho fries, and I'm just like, FML, what am I doing to myself? But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm eating less, so it's better than what I was eating before.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the last episode, I ended with confidence, right? Do you think diet and exercise helps improve or boost your confidence?
I think it could go either way.
Okay.
I think so I think it does if you're seeing progress, but if someone isn't exercising right and dieting right, like they think they are but they actually aren't, and they're not seeing progress, then it might discourage them because they're not seeing a move in their scale or body composition, or when they look in the mirror they're not seeing any changes. So it might seem like they're trying really hard, but they're actually just not educated enough to do the right thing.
Yeah, I know. I feel like with a lot of these diets, people see this like change in weight, and then like a year later they're doing a different diet because they gained all that weight back.
Yeah.
And I think it is important to be educated on diet and exercise because like, I don't know, like when I go to the gym, like I see these people who are like exercising but they're not doing it right.
Yeah.
And then I get scared because I'm like, that's gonna mess up your joint, dude. Did I tell you the time I went to the gym and this guy was doing, what are these called?
Overhead
like
tricep extension.
Yeah. Okay, so he was like, you know how you're supposed to like do it at like a certain rate, kind of slow, kind of like not putting too strain, and you're not supposed to like let the momentum do the work for you.
Yeah.
Essentially, he was like fist bumping with like 15s in his hands, and it literally looked like he wasn't going in like a smooth motion.
Yeah.
It just looked like he was like partying with a dumbbell, and I was like, dude.
Yeah.
Are you okay? I think he was a freshman because it was like
at
UCR,
the gym, right?
At UCR, and I was like, dude, like, I don't. Is it okay to like correct people at the gym?
I think it is. When I'm at the gym, I see a lot of people helping each other out, but I think it just depends on the person because they might take offense to it, especially if a girl is telling a guy how to work out.
That's so true. Okay, so do you think like people primarily exercise and diet for a confidence boost?
I think, yeah.
Think
Because
so?
the majority of people do it for appearance, and they want to look better. So when they start seeing progress and they look better, then they start feeling themselves. They start like dressing, in a more sexy way.
Same.
So I think, yeah, I think people do exercise for confidence.
You don't think there's like other reasons for people to exercise or like motivated to exercise?
Health.
Just health?
Health. Well, I'm in strength sports, so they more for like just for strength.
For strength. So for personal, like, I guess goals, personal goals.
Personal goals. They just want to lift heavy. So for them, it's not necessarily appearance. They exercise for strength and power, and the aesthetics come as a side effect of that. That's like the last thing they're thinking about.
It's just looks. Last thing is
Last
looks.
thing is looks. First thing is performance and strength.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't know. For me, like, I don't care about how I look, as bad as that really sounds. I think I primarily diet and exercise for health reasons, especially as of late, because a lot of bad health issues have been appearing in my life, and that's why I lost the weight I lost. And I mean, like a good side effect was a confidence boost because like now I could shop for clothes, and like it's not psychologically burdening to be going out to buy clothes anymore. And I don't know, like when I first started going to the gym, I was like 15 pounds heavier, but I had flare-ups in my skin. So I had flare-ups in my skin. Like this is just gonna be me talking about myself now, Brenda. So I had flare-ups on my skin. So it literally were like cysts that were open, like open wounded cysts, and they wouldn't heal at all. Like no matter what I did. So I had to wear bandages like on my neck and on my armpit. And you're going to the gym, you know, you're like doing a lot of lifting, and like for me to not want to lift my arms up, it was like really freaking hard to start working out of the gym. And like me being insecure about how I look, it was hard. But luckily in the beginning of my gym journey, I was still in a relationship, so I still had that part of me of like, I don't really care who's watching. And then as I lost weight and going to the gym, and my flare-ups are what happened, my flare-ups aren't as bad. Like my flare-ups aren't as bad. I could like work out and feel free to do like cables again or like anything. Yeah. What's your favorite thing to do at the gym?
I like everything, so I can't pick.
Uh-huh.
Because I started out with like bodybuilding exercises type stuff, like
CrossFit.
push pull leg workouts, and then I dabbled into CrossFit. And then in CrossFit, I discovered Olympic weightlifting. And then I couldn't give any of them up, so I continued with all three. And then I joined this other gym, and then I discovered that I'm pretty good at powerlifting. So now I am focusing on powerlifting to build like brute strength, because there's not as much technique that goes into it as Olympic weightlifting, but I still continue bodybuilding exercises. I'm not a bodybuilder, but I do the exercises just to like supplement
Your needs and your wants.
Yeah, just like because I enjoy them and because it helps with the powerlifting aspect of it.
I remember when we first started going to college, you barely went to, like, you never really went gymming in the beginning, like in the very, very beginning.
I mean, I remember in the dorms I would go, but I wouldn't really know. I would go to the gym, but I wasn't as educated in what I should do.
So what were you doing in the beginning?
So in the beginning, I wanted buff arms.
I remember.
So I would literally, I think my arms got a head start before the rest of my body, because my arms are kind of like
I remember.
bulky. So I would do bicep curls and work out my back, and sometimes chest press,
bench
press, and then but I would do more cardio because I thought that's what would help me like cut down.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. It helps, but it's mostly diet that helps you cut down.
So is diet more important than exercising?
Diet is more important than exercising for someone who wants to lose weight. You could lose weight, not exercise, and just eat right. And
that's what happened to me. I went to the gym once a week. And people don't do this, but like I went on like an extreme diet for like what I was eating before. And I like, you know, I cut down my hours of eating, and I cut down meat, and I cut out carbs. And so like obviously, and I was stressed and depressed. So like with that in the picture, that like made things a lot worse. But yeah, so like what is your like mantra? Ironically, we're at Mantras Coffee. But like what's your mantra on like diet and exercise?
Diet and exercise, recovery is everything.
What do you mean?
Like, so a lot of people work out and they want to lose weight, so they're like, I'm not missing a day of the gym, and I'm not going to, like, I'm just going to work hard at
like
the
5
gym
times a week,
every day, and I'm going to do like insane amounts of cardio and everything. But there's such a thing as overtraining, and if your body can't keep up, then it's just going to deteriorate.
Okay, so you're like you're putting your body under all this stress. Your body needs to recover from like a science background. Like you can't stress your body that much because you know it's not healing in the way.
Muscle isn't built when you're working out. It's built when you're sleeping and the days that you recover. So at least 8 hours of sleep, stretching, massaging, and just like Epsom baths and all that stuff, just recovery. That's what will push your body forward to do more things.
What does Epsom baths do?
So that's magnesium
it's like
sulfate. So what that does is it just helps with swelling and soreness.
But like soreness is just a built up of lactic acid in them. How would that?
There,
You don't know.
I don't know exactly what happens, but there's probably something with diffusion, with the salt.
Osmosis
Yeah.
and probably like neurotransmitters.
Probably.
Like something really complicated
Yeah.
and sciencey. Okay, so did you have any like insecurities along your way during your fitness journey?
When I started, I wasn't sure what to do, so I'm pretty sure I would. It would feel like people were watching me while
Like
I was
judging?
working out. Yeah. So, but along the way, I think it was last summer.
Mhm.
I was just like, fuck it, like I'm gonna educate myself. I'm gonna work out at the gym, and the only way to better myself is to not care about what other people think, because that's what's holding me back.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I feel like I have a few friends who didn't want to go to the gym with me when we were in college. You know, we're paying for a gym, a really nice gym.
Yeah.
And they were just like, I have this insecurity where people are watching what I'm doing, but really no one's really paying attention. It might look like
Yeah.
someone's paying attention, but they're probably zoning out.
Yeah.
Like,
Like once I got that out of my head, that's when I started seeing the most progress.
that's good.
And that's just what kept me going.
And you started powerlifting and CrossFitting very seriously last summer.
I started powerlifting
Recently.
14 weeks ago.
Yeah, but then I remember you wanted to do like weight, like you wanted to go to competitions last summer.
I did do 2 competitions.
Really?
Yeah. So last summer, I got into Olympic weightlifting, and I started going to the class twice a week.
I remember.
And then I got a chance to do a meet in December, and that was my first meet ever, and I almost qualified for nationals, but I was 2 kilograms off.
That's like 4 pounds,
That's
right?
yeah, like
5 pounds?
5 pounds, almost 5 pounds. So then I did another one for fun in January, and my total was the same, so I didn't like go up or down or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I did compete twice, and I'm gonna go back to it after I compete in powerlifting.
Yes, get it. Okay, we're supposed to talk about insecurities, and like that totally went off a tangent. But there was no physical insecurities besides like people just staring at you. Like you didn't feel insecure about like being short or like
No,
being
not
bulky.
well, not in the gym, but once I started developing like a body composition, I felt more insecure outside of the gym. So around my family, certain clothes I would wear in public, I would feel insecure just because the proportions of my body isn't like the average Asian slim girl.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But then I saw you for the first time in like almost a year, and I was like, damn, you cut.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay. But last year when we were talking, I was 134, 135 pounds,
Mhm.
and I was almost 26% body fat.
Yeah.
So now I went down to 28 pounds,
Mhm.
and I'm 23% body fat. So it's not a lot of weight, but it's because I gained muscle and lost fat.
Yeah, but your body composition in general as a whole is a little different.
Yeah,
Like,
because of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me. I have a lot of physical insecurities, and like it was very hard to like start working out. So what would you give like as an advice? What advice would you give to someone like me who feels like they're too big, or like they don't look like the typical person at the gym?
I feel like you just have to tell yourself that progress takes time, and the first step is just to get yourself there.
That's true. Yeah, no, like, I guess it's because of the type of gym I go to, because, like, last summer we went to LA Fitness, and
Yeah.
everyone was, like, a college kid.
Mhm.
Pretty much, like, a good chunk of the
Yeah.
people, especially at the time we were going, they were college kids. And then I switched to, like, I don't know, what would you classify Gold's Gym as? Like, as a, like, rich people, like, buff people type of gym. So, like, I'm literally, like, the fattest person there, but I'm not a big person
Yeah.
as a whole. Like, I don't think I'm personally really big. Like, in my head, I think I'm really big, but I've asked you before, do you remember one girl was walking across the street, and I was like, am I that big? Because that's how big I feel. And
Yeah.
you were like, no, you're like 2/3, maybe even less than that.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Like, I really don't know my body shape. It's really sad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, also, like, have you ever felt like insecure about physical appearance in a relationship because of how your fitness journey is?
Mm, no.
No.
So let me think. My first, not my first, like I guess my second relationship, I felt like I was in rugby.
Yeah.
And everyone hyped me up. So I felt like I looked like pretty decent.
Yeah.
Like I was okay.
Yeah, frat boy.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what they would call me. And then like I could lift pretty heavy. And
Sorry.
And I know that when I got into the relationship, I knew that the person I was with liked me for me, and she also hyped up my legs and everything. If you guys can see my legs.
Booty.
But it wasn't until now when I looked back, I had pictures from Coachella in 2017. I was chubby as fuck, and people hyped me up, so it's kind of like the opposite. I didn't like feel insecure then, but now looking back, I'm like, I never want to get back to that point again in a relationship. But I don't like dating super skinny girls. I realize that because it makes me feel like I'm gonna break them.
Same. That's how I feel with guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel insecure in that way sometimes. It's cool because like I could lift them and everything, but I feel like I'm gonna break them at the same time.
What a dream, man. I want to date someone who could pick me up, but I'm heavy. Yeah, but like, no, I get what you mean. Like, I think that's why, like, I have a like, people have specific types, and it's okay to have a type.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes it could come across as shallow, but it shouldn't, because everyone has a personal preference. Like, don't, there's like this term, it's like, don't yuck someone's yum. So, you know, everyone has a type, and you're open to have types. And while writing this episode, when we're talking about insecurities, I wanted to talk about insecurities in a relationship, like physical insecurities in a relationship.
Yeah.
And for me, I have a skin condition. It's called HS. I have no idea how to pronounce it out loud, so I'm not gonna bother butchering it. So on my body, there's like certain areas of my body that are dark. Like, skin is very dark, and it's because I have like a flare-up, a condition, right? And my ex, I'm gonna just say his name to make things easier, and I'll just bleep it out. He would always point it out, and like, it made me insecure because it's on my armpits. And you know me, I wear tank tops all the time. Tank tops, dresses, like tube tops. I don't like my shoulders covered. It's just like a personal preference of mine. And like, for how long since I've been with him, like since I broke up, or like when I was with him, like 3 years now, he made me feel like super insecure about it. You know, one day we were showering and he scrubbed my armpits for 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me.
Yeah, and like, I look back at that shit, like, why would I let someone define who I am, like, physically speaking? And I didn't get diagnosed until like a month or two ago. And it's just like wild and insane to like think like physically you have to look good for someone. So like, what is your like perspective on like, who do you think you should look good for, or like, do you think it's okay to look good for someone?
You should look good for yourself first of all.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you happy. And I think it's okay to look good for someone else, because in return that'll make you feel good too.
Like, it's a confidence boost. Like, if they like how you look, then you're like,
yeah. It's like they'll hype you up because you're dressing up for them, and then they'll make you feel good.
You know, I realized like both my relationships, neither of them hyped me up. I mean, they're like, you're hot, but like, that's because I was wearing like a full beat of makeup. Like, what about when I'm not wearing makeup?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that was like my issue, and like, I think that's why now I'm like hyping myself up. I mean, I'm not cocky. I'm the most insecure person you'll ever meet in your life, and I'm hyping myself up.
I feel like the most insecure girls do that.
Yeah, it helps with their insecurities. But like, I'm very proud of my progress, and I think it's okay for me to say out loud that I'm proud of my progress, because like, I look at pictures from like 2-3 months ago, and I didn't even realize how big I got. And then remember when we first hung out for the first time in a while?
Yeah.
You were like, I saw your Instagram, and I was like, what happened
your
to
like
you?
neck disappeared. literally.
I have a neck again.
And yeah.
I have a neck and I have shoulders again that like are separated from my neck. Yeah, and like I didn't even have a chin, like a jaw. Like I mean, I still barely have a jaw, but like that's because like this muscle here will forever be a muscle, and I've learned to live like even if I'm skinny, this is still present, my double
Yeah.
chin. But like I look at it and like my face shape isn't round. My face shape is like kind of a
Oval,
heart,
yeah.
oval heart. It's like borderline heart, borderline like oval. It's somewhere in that middle ground, and like I was a circle.
Yeah.
My face was literally a circle, and like you know what made me realize that my face got smaller? You know the Korean face mask?
Oh my gosh.
It covers more of my face now. Before it literally would cover like the center of my face. Now it doesn't do that. Okay, we're gonna move away from insecurities and back to exercising. Do you think, personally speaking or generally speaking, do you think tattoos motivate people to work out?
Yes.
So what is your personal stories on tattoos?
My personal story. And how is it related to exercise?
You like you know how people are like, I'm not gonna get a tattoo here because like I don't look big enough for this tattoo. Like I want to bulk for this specific tattoo.
I've never heard of that before.
Really? I
I've
think
only
it's just
heard
a
of
guy
people
thing.
cutting.
Or like same thing, cutting. It's like, oh, I want my like leg to look better for this tattoo piece, so I'm gonna cut.
So personally, I don't think I've ever had that experience because I've just gotten the tattoos that I wanted when I wanted them.
Me too.
But I think some people do want to lose weight in certain areas just so that there's no excess skin,
Yeah.
so that the tattoo
Lays better.
lays better. Yeah.
But you can't like lose weight in a specific area like that, right?
Yeah, you can't.
You can't target lose weight.
No.
And so what do you think about people who think like I need to do X, Y, and Z before I get a tattoo because physically speaking I'm not good enough?
Well, they shouldn't think that they're not good enough to begin with, but it's a good motivator to keep them to keep losing weight.
Yeah, like for me personally, like remember when I got my tattoos, I purposely like was like if I get fat it wouldn't stretch out in this area.
Yeah.
So I have a tattoo on my collarbone and on my shoulder, and like it hasn't stretched out at
Yeah.
all, and I gained like 50 pounds like,
Yeah.
since I've gotten those tattoos, and they still look nice and clean. But I do use tattoos as a different type of motivator. I said if I get into the school I wanted, I'll get myself a tattoo.
That's what I do too. If I get this job and pass probation, I'm gonna get my sleeve done.
Yeah, but that's not because physically
No, it's
speaking we
not.
look bad. Like, yeah. So how did you like? I don't know. I didn't write that much. How did you overcome your insecurities as a person? Like, do you have any other insecurities?
I do, but I think that everyone keeps working. Well, personally, insecurities never go away.
Yeah.
So it's just you just have to remind yourself.
Yeah.
And so I just have to accept that my body is the way that it is, that it's going to carry more fat in certain areas than other people.
Yeah.
Because that's just where I carry it.
Yeah.
And I can never change that.
Yeah.
And just, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like you bringing up like how people hold fat in certain areas. Like I know people who hold fat in certain areas, but there are like studies that say like if you stress, don't sleep, you're most likely going to carry fat in a certain area. Have you heard of those studies?
No.
So they say like if you typically like people who don't sleep, people who have a lot of stress in their life, they'll have high levels of cortisol. You know what cortisol is?
Yeah.
So cortisol is the stress hormone.
Uh-huh.
The opposite of cortisol is adrenaline in like very
Yeah.
plain terms. And so people with high amounts of cortisol in their system, there's a study saying that they'll hold fat in their gut.
Uh-huh.
And like I read that and I was like, that's me. Like I don't carry weight typically on my gut,
Yeah.
but like I have now.
I mean, that makes sense. Like I said before, recovery is everything. So obviously, exercise is just one part of stress in a person's life. But there's like jobs, there's relationships, there's everything else that could make cortisol
Go away.
go away or
Break down.
increase.
Is it break down?
Well, I'm talking about like stress increasing cortisol.
Yeah.
So like when you exercise, that could also increase cortisol also. So when I started this powerlifting program, my coach would keep up with me and ask how I'm feeling, or ask if like any hormones. He would ask if I noticed any hormonal changes, or like if my period would change.
Okay.
So like because exercise in general is just a really big part of adding stress.
It's a physical stress.
It's a physical stress.
Yeah.
So that could also increase cortisol.
Okay, can you repeat that right now? So like exercise is a physical stress and it increases cortisol. That's pretty much what Brenda said.
It can, yeah.
It can. I don't know. Like, do you think there are ways around, like,
Not having cortisol happen?
yeah, like while exercising? Or
Recovery.
So sleep and like diet and
Sleep.
not overworking out. Like I know people. Is that healthy to just like do cardio and
No.
starve yourself?
No, that is not healthy, because the basis of health is a clean diet, first of all.
Yeah, I mean treat your body like a temple.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs, kids.
I mean, you could run that much if you want, but if you enjoy it. The purpose shouldn't be for losing weight if you're going to run that much, because you don't need to run that much to lose weight.
Yeah, like I mean, I do elliptical train. Like I work out on the elliptical because I have joint problems, right? And like I don't know if it's because I'm on the elliptical and I'm going faster, but in like 30 minutes I could do 9 miles according to the machine.
Yeah.
And even on my watch says about 9 miles. Do you think that's okay? Like 30 minutes, 9 miles, but like I'm not like the whole time. I'm kind of like high resistant training.
I think,
What do you
what
think?
was the cardio for what? Like
Cardio,
elliptical for...
I do it for, it's just part of my workouts. 30 minutes elliptical, approximately 9 miles, and then I do my like tone training, like toning my body.
Okay, toning is a Pandora's box. That's
I
another
know.
subject.
Okay, tell me about it.
But first of all, with the cardio, you don't have to. You could do cardio if you want. If someone enjoys cardio and they like it, then yeah, go for it. But again, you don't really have to do it. Like, that's okay
Really?
if you like it.
I mean, I'm doing it to get my heart rate up.
Oh, well, okay. So you're doing it for cardiac health.
Yeah, heart rate up. Also, like overall weight loss. Like I don't like, you know, like people are like, run, you'll lose weight everywhere. And I was like, okay, so I'll do elliptical because I can't run physically speaking.
I mean, with the losing weight everywhere
Yeah.
thing.
Is that also a Pandora's box?
That, I mean, just like you can't spot reduce.
I know, but it's just like you're just losing weight wherever it happens to
exactly.
lose. Okay, well, like, yeah, I mean, I'm happy overall, but like, I do still have like an area that I'm still struggling with an issue with, but I know like if I just losing weight and like working out, it'll eventually will disappear because like it wasn't this bad 3 years ago before but like yeah, like it's so sad for me to be like, look, I could see my feet again.
Yeah.
That's so, I wanted to cry because I was like, I could see my feet again. I'm so bad. Okay, let's talk about toning.
Okay.
Toning.
So what is toning? Like, what's
Like what I think toning
Yeah,
is?
because it's an ambiguous
Term.
term.
Yeah. For me, like toning is just like me like lifting where I get like tired by like the eighth rep, but like I'm still pushing myself a little bit because I didn't work out for like 2 years.
So toning, okay, so what you're describing kind of sounds like resistance training.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was told to do to help my joints.
Yeah.
Like resistance training is should I call it resistance
You should
training
call it
now?
resistance training, because I think that's the definition of resistance training.
Like oh, just like
training with weights.
training with weights, just
Yeah.
in general.
Just in general.
Like what people do at the gym. It's not toning.
Toning, usually when people say they want to tone, it means like they want to lose weight and they want their muscles to show.
So that's just like
Because they want to
trying to be
toned.
lean.
Yeah. But the thing is, everyone has their own definition of like toning. If they're like, oh, I want to get tone, for each individual, it might be different, because a really skinny person, if they want to get toned, they don't need to lose body fat anymore.
They just need to gain muscle mass?
They just need to gain muscle mass. So that includes gaining weight. But when people say they want to get toned, they're usually like, oh, I want to lose weight. But for the skinny person, it's gaining muscle, so gaining weight.
So, like, so do you think it's important for people to be using the right terminology?
I mean, people should be educated.
Okay, yeah.
And the word tone is so ambiguous anyways. Any person can use it in a different sense.
That's true. True. You're right.
Just like for a really overweight person, if they're like, oh, I want to tone, that means, oh, I want to drop body fat. But because they have excess body fat, they would lose weight.
Like really fast too, right? I think that's why I'm seeing the results I'm seeing is because I had so much excess body fat. And I don't know if I'm plateauing. I hope I'm not plateauing. But like I have this gut feeling that I'm going to plateau really soon. What do you think I should do? Like, because everyone plateaus.
Everyone plateaus at a certain point. I don't think you're going to plateau soon just because you still have a good amount of weight that your body would naturally
want to lose. Yeah.
So once a person plateaus, they need to reevaluate
their exercise.
Their exercise, their diet. Like, because with exercising, there's such things as noob gains. So when you start exercising, it's really easy to see progress. Mm-hmm. It's really fast to see progress. But once
it's called what? Noob
gains, like beginner gains.
Okay.
And once you hit like a threshold where you're no longer a beginner, you just need to educate yourself better and find smarter workouts that are more that have a reason behind why you're doing it.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because like I was asking someone like, what do you do like at the gym? Like, what's your workout plan? And it sounded like this person was doing the same things on a daily, and I was like, I think you're plateauing because I don't see a difference in your body type within like the last month, and you want to bulk, very loose term, and I don't know, like how do you give advice to someone where you could tell like they're plateauing? Because I was like, you need to switch it up because you have something called muscle memory. Your body's gonna be like, I know how to do this, and like you're just like, oh, you're doing the same thing over and over again. There's no progress anymore, right?
I think you could just increase the weight. They might not be challenging themselves
enough. You think they're just like going to the gym to say they're going to the gym?
Maybe they just got into the routine and they don't know when they should increase weight or when they should try to, make things harder on themselves to actually build more muscle fibers.
That's true. Do you know the science behind like muscle building, or what would be your best way to build muscle?
Your best way? Okay, so in general, building muscle, once you're proficient enough, you have to do a bulk. So that entails eating more calories.
Okay, so increase calorie intake.
Calories at a slow, maybe like 100 calories every 2 weeks.
Okay, that's not a lot of calories.
It's not. So you just need to eat more than your body burns, and obviously use those calories smartly, and that would be towards resistance training. So that's how you would do a lean bulk. Obviously you would want to eat like clean foods too, but some people do dirty bulks where they just eat whatever they want and they're not counting calories, and that's how you gain muscle, but you're also gaining extra fat that you don't need.
Yeah. Okay, no, that just reminds me of Bart Kwan.
Yeah.
He's like a huge dude, owns a gym, but if you watch his vlogs, he like dirty bulks.
Yeah.
He's like ice cream, all this like dessert boba, but like he's very educated in what he's doing. Yeah. So I think do you think it's okay for him to do that?
I think it's okay if someone knows what they're doing, and they're okay to accept that the way they're doing it is going to drastically change their body. Mm-hmm. Then I think it's okay if they know what they're going in for.
Okay, so talking about Bart Kwan, do you have any like motivational people you watch or you follow in terms of like a fitness journey or to motivate you to do certain workouts or to look a certain way or?
I try not to exercise to look a certain way.
Right? Or oh, they're doing this workout that looks cool. Like something to like spice up your life a little bit in the gym.
I mean, if I see something that's interesting and I like, then I'll include it. But I tend to stick with the same things.
Yeah, but you just increase weight.
I just increase the weight, and plus my focus right now is on powerlifting, so that's just three lifts.
What are those 3?
Bench press, squat, and deadlift.
Oh yeah.
So I start out with those. So it's not like, because that's my focus, it's not like I'm changing my workout drastically. It's just, yeah.
Do you think it's healthy to follow workout people?
In what way?
Like follow them on follow them on social media?
I think it depends who. Some people are really fake. Some people are more open about everything. But the people who are fake are just, you don't know if they got plastic surgery or not.
#FitT.
They're just trying to sell things to people who aren't educated enough just to like make a profit off of people.
So do you think, let's talk about that real quick, because like we'll tangent off, because I want some more audio in this, and a lot of it is us pausing. So like, you know, those people who are making like millions of dollars promoting like, millions of dollars for people to promote, or making millions of dollars promoting something that isn't quite healthy, like what do you think would be the best way to help someone who's falling into that fad?
Just to get back to the basics and educate them on, there's no shortcut to losing weight.
There's never a shortcut to anything.
If you want it to be sustainable, they need to not be naive. I mean, okay, this is like no sympathy type thing.
Yeah.
They can't be naive. They have to either listen or not listen to what I'm saying, and just understand that it's not going to work. They're getting ripped off.
Dude, yeah. I'll tell you 2 scenarios that I fed into these stupid things, right? So, and I've learned my lesson, obviously speaking, because I don't buy stupid shit to like eat anymore, or I choose what I eat now.
Yeah.
So when I was like 16, 17, my family bought me Nutrisystem. My family is very big on like looking good, losing weight. To the listeners out there, Brenda knows. My family's like hot, and I'm like not. So I guess like 3 things I fed into. So I got Nutrisystem when I was 16. Do you remember from our junior year to our senior year how much weight I lost?
A shit ton?
Yeah, I lost. It wasn't a shit ton. It was
a lot. It was noticeable.
It was very noticeable, but I was smaller then, so it was very noticeable.
That's true.
Yeah, so it was 30 pounds. And like right now I lost like, I think I'm somewhere between 15 and 20 pounds lost, but there is a significant difference in terms of looks. So I went from looking like chubby to looking like really skinny. Like my face was too big for my body, skinny. And like it was a fad, obviously. I'm paying like I think it was like $600 for like, I think it was a whole month of food. Like they ship you a box of food and you just like add water and you microwave it, and that's like, yeah, it was disgusting. It's processed, but like you also add like blueberries and stuff on the side, so crackers and snacks and stuff. But like your main meals were like protein bars, oatmeal, bullshit soup. Like it was just like very low calories. So I think I was approximately eating like, I think I want to say less than 1,000 calories a day.
Okay.
And I think that's what happened, right? Like it was a calorie deficiency essentially. And I had a personal trainer, and I was burning like, I don't know, 600 to 800 calories a session 3 times a week. So like my calorie intake was like less than 500 a day. Do you think? And then obviously I gained all the weight.
Yeah.
Because it's a fad, right?
And more.
Huh?
Just kidding.
And more, yeah. But that was like,
I know.
It took some time. Like for a whole year, I only gained like 5 pounds after that.
Yeah.
It was when like college started, but there's a lot of factors on why people gain weight in college.
Yeah.
And then the second time I fed into it, I bought FitT. My dumbass bought this FitT thing, right? Because like, you know those Instagram girls, they look hot, and you're like, I want to look like that.
Yeah.
But it was such a pain to like brew tea in the morning, and no one drinks tea right before they sleep. Like I had
I do.
You do?
I drink, I forgot what tea it's called, but it helps with sleeping.
Okay, but this is like tea. Like I'm pretty sure there was caffeine in it, and like I would forget to drink tea at night because at night I would just like pass out. And I think you're supposed to drink the tea like 2 or 3 times a day, and then you drink the night tea. Like there's 2 separate teas, and it smelled like really bad. And I love tea, so I wasn't motivated. And like, there's like these studies that like if you're on birth control and you're taking fit tea, it's gonna cancel the birth control effects. And then so I fed into that fad. And then here's a fad that like we should talk about real quick. So waist trainers. That was a big thing. Like people wear waist trainers to work out. I like on and off I wear my waist trainer when I'm doing cardio. My sister like wears a waist trainer out in the day, and then like people at the gym wear a waist trainer. Do you think that works?
I don't know the science behind it.
I don't think there is a science behind it.
I don't think it works because the bottom line again, calories in versus calories out.
Yeah.
Waist trainers, it just
Slims you.
It just slims you while you're working out because you're losing water weight.
So you think that's the weight that people are losing is water weight?
Yeah, because it's making you sweat more.
Yeah. No, okay, so like the last like 3 times I went to the gym, I was way too lazy to wear my waist trainer. So I wore it. I didn't wear it the last 2-3 times. And I think I sweat more without the waist trainer. Because physically speaking, I wasn't restricted on my workouts. So do you think it's like a pseudoscience or like a psych thing? I
think so, yeah.
You think so?
It's kind of like when people eat too little calories, there's a study that shows that people move less.
They move less?
Yeah, when they eat too less of a calorie.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Because what is it? Like behaviorally, like animalistically speaking, in terms of behavior, you know, if you're not eating for the day, you're not going to move.
Yeah.
Because it's a waste of energy to move if you don't have that energy input already.
Exactly.
Wild. Okay, so last question. What advice would you give to someone who is starting a workout journey for the first time or again?
To stay as consistent as possible and to know that it's never a straight path. You're going to gain some weight and lose some weight in the middle of your journey, but progress takes a long time.
So what about the emotional part? Because it is an emotional roller coaster when you're on a fitness journey.
Just to believe in yourself.
To not like lose that hope.
Yeah, keep something. Find something that keeps you going. Find something that you enjoy, so you're actually having fun while you're on your journey.
I don't know. I think I struggle on that aspect. Maybe it's because I'm lazy. But like, yeah, no, I see. Like, I think that's important. Like to really believe in what you're doing and be happy with what you're doing, even if it's like hard. Because working out is hard.
Yeah.
And I used to love working out. I don't know what happened. I think it's harder now that I've gained that weight, and it's hard for me to find that love again. So people who are losing weight for the first time, or like exercising for the first time, or on a crazy fitness journey, like be patient. Like I'm very impatient, and it's really hard on myself, like mentally speaking. But you need to be patient, be okay with how you look. You're gonna be in awkward phases, like Brenda said. You're gonna gain some weight, you're gonna lose some weight, but it's all a big long journey, and it is a lifestyle change. So like my moral from this end of this podcast is like, if you're dieting, don't call it dieting.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. Remember when
I always tell people it's a lifestyle, and they laugh at me, but it is a lifestyle.
Yeah, no, I said that to my family, and they're like, you're joking. Like it is a lifestyle change. It's a very important lifestyle change, because if you call it a diet, you're gonna make it a very short period of time of you doing this. And like my family was like, so what are you doing? And I was like, I want to change my lifestyle. I want to eat better. I want to treat myself better. Put what in my body is a lot better than what I did before. I eat less junk food. I stop snacking. It is a very hard and drastic lifestyle change, but it's worth it. What?
There was a rat.
Oh, okay. Okay, it cut me off mid-sentence.
Right.
I love rats anyways. But yeah, so it's very important to not call it a diet.
Yeah.
in my opinion. And don't call it exercising. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening to YBSO podcast. We have an Instagram. Please follow. I don't know why I said we, because I run everything by myself. So anything you would like to say about this podcast or how this experience was for you?
It was easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's a very natural thing to talk about, especially with me. Like, I'm not an intimidating person, and I love you enough to make this less awkward for you. And I think it's important to talk about these stuff, so please keep on listening. The next episode is going to be a lot different. This was a little, like, short turn on this podcast journey. Next episode is about relationships and friends with benefits, so stay tuned on that. Oh shit, there's gonna be some tea. Okay, bye. You want to say bye?
Bye.